Georgia's electricity sector has a troubled recent history. The network started to deteriorate after independence in 1991 and eventually collapsed in 2000s. For a time, Georgia was dependent on energy imports from its neighbors and faced energy shortages and frequent blackouts.
After the breakup of the Soviet Union, Georgian power system started operating isolated from a much larger and better protected regional system that had existed before, and was very hard to cope with. Permanent lack of financing and a poor maintenance brought us to the edge of financial bankruptcy and collapse. Everybody understood that quick and effective interventions were required, and the management team made a decision to carry out a full-scale rehabilitation program and improve different areas of our organization.
HICD PLUS has helped GSE develop a new strategic plan, operating procedures, and key performance indicators. We helped GSE strengthen their internal audit and procurement functions. Another key focus was on equipping GSE's staff with the knowledge and skills to better perform their important roles.
Today, we can proudly say that many of those objectives have already been achieved. Old devices at our substations have been replaced by the new ones, and currently we are expanding our power transmission grid by building new transmission lines and substations.
GSE is the most vital player in our energy system. GSE's major responsibilities are to dispatch electricity, to ensure stability of supply among the regions and to the distribution companies, and at the same time to create new hubs for the newly developing hydropower and thermal power plants, which are absolutely vital and necessary for our economical and energy development.
Georgia needs new power stations. Without new generating capacity, we won't be able to satisfy growing demand. In the future, we won't be self-sustainable, and the whole country will be dependent on imported electricity. We also need a reliable network and a very solid cross-border transmission infrastructure with our neighbors to play a role of a hub for energy trade in the region. That's what we are trying to achieve.
This is 10-year network development plan of Georgia. The aim of this plan is to ensure enough capacity for integration of new generation, for increasing of reliability of our system, for implementing N-1 criteria, which means in case of emergency of losing each line or each generation unit, the REST system will ensure the supply of consumers without any limitations and without any outages. Also, the aim of this plan is to integrate with the plan of United European TSOs, transmission system operators, and ensure enough capacity for power trading between the neighboring countries.
HICD PLUS trained GSC's 53 senior and middle-level managers in modern project management techniques to better enable them to implement the important work that they perform across the country.
The team worked on this plan was poor Georgian. Most of them are very young but very experienced by the help of USAID. We use two most popular softwares, PSSC and OF Factory, and also by help of USAID we had a lot of trainings in these softwares.
During the next 10 years, GSC has an ambitious plan to implement $6 million worth of international projects, meaning creation new interconnection lines, creation new substations, and creation new internal lines. Most of the funding for those projects will come from our international donors and partners such as USAID, KfW, World Bank, Asian Development Bank. And I think that while implementing the projects of this magnitude and having encounter with the partners of such scale and experience, we need to also present from our side very experienced, very effective and very efficient team. And I think that the efforts which USAID is conducting in order to increase the efficiency of the GSC team will be a guarantee for the further success of GSC.